Welcome back to another anime review. Today we're doing Inuyashiki Episode 2, Take 2. I'm Justin,
I'm Logan.
and together we're Couch Talk. I
Whew.
almost forgot. I almost said our gaming channel. It's okay. Uh, so before we get into it, again, the whole YouTube rigmarole, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, give feedback, and all that stuff. Again, no spoilers. Logan and I are anime viewers for Inuyashiki only. We don't know any of the source material. Obviously, other people that are coming in to watch this are going to be anime viewers only, so no spoilers for anybody.
Right.
But how these reviews work is we break down the episode scene by scene, have discussions throughout about it, and discuss our reactions, feelings, stuff. And at the end, we give our official score for the episode.
Right. We try and take an analytical approach when it comes to reviewing the scenes. But
So
this episode, woo,
it's a
so
pretty intense episode.
it's very
Uh,
yeah. It's
Like I said, this is take 2. Logan forgot to hit record
we
on the
were like
first take.
we were like 90% done, and I realized I wasn't recording. But it was
But
a good
that's okay.
it's a good
So
practice
back
run.
here to the beginning once again. We get introduced to Hiro, who is the other kid that got hit at the park and rebuilt with Inuyashiki.
Yeah, so I
And
think we thought that maybe he had something to do with the aliens or that he was there for a purpose, but it might have just been coincidence, it seems.
I still hold it was a little bit on purpose, and I'll talk about why later in the episode.
Okay. I
Uh,
think maybe coincidence just because he's kind of an off sort of character, just like his personality.
yes.
But we'll
His
definitely.
personality kind of escalates throughout the episode. So in the beginning, I feel like he's here at school with one of his friends who I felt like was a worse person than Hiro is. So they're talking
Yeah.
about Inuyashiki's daughter. Hiro's friend's like, damn, she's hot. I'd do anything to be with her. And Hiro's like, well, isn't she kind of a bitch? Like, personality should matter with a person, not just looks. He doesn't seem superficial.
Right.
Whereas his friend is superficial. Um,
He seems like an okay guy. He actually
yeah,
seems kind of nice. Like,
and
oh,
he's worried about where his friend Ando is. He's like he hasn't been come to school.
yeah, he's just seems like a nice dude, and nothing really stands out in the first scene about him. He just seems kind of like some normal guy.
Yes, and that's why I thought like, oh, he might be work with Inuyashiki to help people or something. But we get him, and he goes to check on his friend Ando after school to try to get him to come back to school,
Right.
because it's what a good person would do.
This is
Uh,
where he starts to show more of his personality or his
yes,
views of things.
yeah, we find out he's a huge One Piece fan. I am not.
No wonder he's so crazy. if you
Oh,
read
be careful there.
if you read
Careful
something
there.
that long, it messes with your mind. Nah, it's all good. I just like how he opened it and he started crying like immediately.
Immediately, he's like, man, the feels. So we learn he connects with anime, like manga and anime for sure. Um, so he starts talking to his friend Ando because he's just trying to open his friend up, and his conversation starter after manga not working is, hey, there's been a lot of killings going on by someone called the Slasher.
Yeah, that's
Killed 8 people.
it's kind of a strange thing to bring up when your friend seems down. But the stranger thing is what he says next, and he's like, "Oh, is that you? You haven't been at school?" It's like, wait, what?
It's like,
You're just gonna straight up accuse him of murder? But
yeah,
he says he's
that does
joking.
that does get his friend out of bed though.
It does. He does says he's joking, but the rest of the episode kind of leads me to think he wasn't joking, and he was just
Yeah, the episode makes you feel like
well,
he's
maybe more. It's more like a
Hero's the slasher.
yeah, like more of a sadistic humor he has.
Um, so we get the fact he doesn't like Gantz. I have never read, seen Gantz or anything like that
There is
either.
a lot of like current things they put in this.
Yes, there is a lot of current stuff going on, but him and his friend have just are talking about. They talk about how he's and Hero brings up he's basically empty inside. Uh, well, he never seems like a person that really showed too much emotions. Anyway, at this point, he always seemed like, besides when he was reading One Piece, he showed some emotions. Otherwise, outside of that, like his conversations always have the exact same tone.
I think honestly, now that you mention it, the only two times he shows emotion is when he's talking about One Piece. There's this scene where he's crying, and then there's a later scene he mentions One Piece and he seems like happy or joyful. It's
Yes,
kind of weird. He's like
he
obsessed with.
loves One Piece, man. And he shows his friend he's a robot,
Straight up opens his dome in front of his friend.
but his friend is an idiot
Yeah,
and naive.
I
Thinks it's a magic trick.
I said naive in our first recording. He's pretty much an idiot. How do you think that's a magic trick, dude? Come on. Like,
Yeah, exactly. Then he's like, Hero's like, here, let me show you something else then to try to prove to you it's not just magic.
yeah,
And
he's
so he shoots a bird, a crow, kills it dead. Um, and his friend's still like, wow, that's another neato trick.
yeah, it's
Neato, sir, neato.
we brought this up in the other recording that you won't see, but we don't know. He seems to have very efficient use of his new
Yes,
robot
that's why
body.
this is where it comes where I think that he it wasn't just a coincidence he got hit by the aliens. Because it feels like he got the hang of everything so quickly and knew his abilities, unless like this is further in the time frame from episode 1 that I'm aware of. So I feel like that's something that would take weeks to understand.
Yeah, I feel like it'd take a lot of messing around, and it's weird how he's very efficient at the hurting things part. But I guess they were rebuilt.
Also, he opened up his head like in such a direct way, whereas when Inuyashiki did it in episode 1, he had to like pull on his chin and
Right.
stuff to do it. He just didn't do anything. He just opened
Well,
it up.
and
with
he
his-
also knows how to use this weapon. He literally just points his finger and says bang, and it like explodes whatever in front of him. It's
Yes.
kind of nuts. And he,
Yu Yu Hakusho finger gun.
yeah, the spirit gun. So then we get to him. They're going to a subway, and what he says here is just kind of strange. They're waiting for the subway. It's going by. He's with his friends, and he's like, "Hey, I saw someone jump in front of this train."
Yeah,
And
and he's
his-
like, I watched someone jump in front of a train, and his friend's like, wait, what? He's like, nothing.
Yeah, he's like,
That's it.
"That's it," and you're like,
So we're getting-
"What?"
he's been coming off with like a dark vibe.
He seems
the
to have
scene-
a
In the middle of the conversation back at the room with Ando is when it started to get tense for me, and that tense feeling just kept building throughout the episode.
yeah, like
He's talking here on the subway about how he watched someone jump in front of the train. He doesn't show any emotions about it. He doesn't. It's just, hey, that's it. Like, there's something definitely off with you right now.
yeah, he seems to have a weird obsession with like death. Even his conversation with his friends started with like people dying. He
Yes.
kills the crow, and then he brings this person who jumped in front of the train. I think he did it while he was messing around with his powers or whatever he can do. I don't even know if I guess new body. They're not really powers. It's like an actual, almost a suit, but it's inside. It's almost like your human part is now the suit to your real robot part.
Yes, it's not like they're not like cyborgs because they're all basically robot.
They're
A
straight
cyborg,
up,
you're still human with robot parts.
yeah, they're straight
but
up like a weapon.
Robot with like, yeah, a weapon with with their original personality attached.
Yeah, with their human conscience.
Which says his original personality was fucked up.
Yeah.
So we get him. They go to the superstore because Hiro wants to show him some more tricks. The scene's kind of
It was kind
like
of
the
funny.
first lighthearted scene in all of this, and he changes all the TVs in the superstore. to porn.
It's just straight up a porno, and the staff are like, "What's going on?"
Like, I can't change the channel. Like the customers are like, get this off the screen. He's
And
like
then-
with this child or something
Yeah.
like that. He's like, get this off the screen.
And then
like, we can't.
his friend's still like, "Wow, neat trick." It's like,
Neato, man.
dude,
It's like you, naive.
I feel like even Hiro was like, these aren't tricks, and he kind of wanted to prove that with his next one. Like, this
Yeah,
ain't
so-
a trick.
his tricks go from, all right, he kills a crow. That's pretty rough, and then he does a little
Yeah.
light porno trick, and then he goes beyond that, and he goes outside onto the street, and he's like, oh, I don't think this will kill them, and he starts causing cars to go out of like control and ramming each other. And the first kind of accident was kind of minor, but then he keeps escalating to the point where I think some people probably got seriously injured or died during the scene. He has a car hitting a truck, flipping it over. He has a semi going head on into another car. He has like a box truck going up on top of another car. And it's just like,
Yeah, he definitely. This really brings out like how you view him now. It's like, okay, he's kind of messed up, or he's kind of crazy in the head, because he's doing these things
without showing emotion either. He still just got his calm,
yeah, he was like
normal plain face.
he was like orchestrating these car crashes, and he was just doing it because he could. It seemed like you're like, okay, this guy's kind of messed up. Like, how far is he willing to take this? Like, him
Yes.
just showing what he can do for pretty much no reason.
He goes back. They go back to their Ando's room, and he's like, Ando starts to actually fear Hiro, who's supposed to be his friend. He's like, you won't kill me, right?
Yeah,
He's
you
like-
can't
He's like,
blame
what?
him.
Are you serious? Like, so you do get Hiro does. He has connections to those close to him.
Yeah. Well, even before this, he opens his back, kind of like Inuyashiki did, and his friend's just toying with it. Thank God
Yes.
he didn't ask if it was a magic trick, or I would have had to just slap the hell out of him. But I think he's finally starting to realize, okay, this isn't the Hiro that I knew. Like,
Yeah.
something's definitely obviously something's changed, because you can see the machine inside him. But like, even I don't even know, personality wise, it kind of seems like he's different, because Andu kind of, like you said, he fears him, so he obviously
Yes.
didn't feel that way before this change. But it's just
And
ugh.
like Ando, even he's like, hey, you could be a superhero. He's like, and Hiro's like, that's kind of a pain. Like, you realize he doesn't want to actually help people or anything like that. He just wants to do things to his own sorts. He doesn't want to do anything that kind of seems like, I guess, a pain to him.
Right.
Um,
Well, the more messed up
and it's
part
like, what is he taking out of One Piece, man? He's not paying attention whatsoever.
Exactly. The more messed
needs
up
a
part
reread.
is he's like, no, I don't want to be a hero. But then later, he's like, hey, those people who bullied you, I can go kill them. It's like,
Yes.
you won't take your time out of the day to help people, but you'll go kill a bunch of bullies.
Well, I think this is where, because we get the flashback from Ando showing Hiro as a kid where he doesn't really care about people he doesn't know. He's like, hey, they just die. But he has connection to those who are close to him and anime, manga characters. But that's because I feel like he's close to them because he's reading, he feels attached to them. And that's why he's willing to go out of the way for Ando, because he has a connection to Ando. He's his friend. He's obviously came here to get him come back to school, so he cares a lot about him. So he'll kill bullies because they're hurting his friend. So he does have a slight human connection left.
Well, yeah, but he takes it. I understand when your friend's being bullied, you want to help, but he takes it literally to the
Oh, yeah, I know.
most
I'm just,
extreme choice. He's like,
he is. I'm bringing some rationale to his character, to the psychotic murdering.
I think it's
Or
hard. It's hard to
wannabe
bring
murder.
rationale to like a sociopath. Like, this guy's like borderline.
It's how you study the human mind, Logan. I'm giving you some tips
He doesn't
here.
even have a human mind anymore. Well, I guess he still has a human mind, but it's just the flashback kind of gives us an insight that he's kind of always been like this, not to the extreme he is now. He's always kind of like not cared for death when it's someone he doesn't know, which I think it wanted to show he's just even pre-robot he was still that way. He's just kind of kicked it up a bit, I'd say, just a tiny bit.
So, in this next scene, he leaves. He has a short conversation with his mom too. Just, hey, I'm trying to help out my friend. But he's out in the street, and he plays roulette. He closes his eyes, starts spinning around to pick a house at random. So, the tension I've been having since like 4 minutes in, when he's having a conversation with Ando, this is where that tension fully builds and just explodes.
Yeah, so when I was watching this and he's spinning and he says you're it, in my mind I'm like, he's not going to do what I think he's going to do, is he? Because it's kind of been building up that he keeps alluding to like death of other people, because like the conversation with the slasher, the subway person jumping in front, killing the bullies, not caring about other people's deaths. So here you're like, holy shit, what is he about to do? When he just says, you're it, you're the lucky contestant, congratulations, here's your prize.
And that prize is a dead mother. So he walks into the house and this mom is just like, oh, hi honey, like, because he comes and says I'm home. I think she was waiting for her daughter and wasn't paying attention to the voice really.
She was probably expecting.
It's kind of like on autopilot, so you hear I'm home or whatever, and you just automatically say hi back. But when she turns around, she's like, wait a minute, who are you? And he just lifts up his hand, bang, insta kills her, and this is where the tension explodes. Like,
yeah,
like
all this,
holy shit, all this tension that's been building up for like 8 minutes for me just goes from pure tension to gut-wrenching like horror.
yeah,
like,
you're like, holy shit, this guy's.
like I can't believe he just killed her.
Yeah,
and
like
not
this,
only does he just shoot her, like after she falls down, clearly already dead at this point, he shoots her what 2-3 more times in the back.
He goes bang, bang, bang. No, he knows she's dead. He's not stupid. He knows how much power he has in his little finger pistol. He's just doing it. It's so messed up. And he said, he's like, I panicked and killed her right away. He's
Which
like,
is
what? He's like, he even said,
what caused him to panic? Like,
yeah,
you got the super suit.
Yeah, the weirder thing is he said, what's wrong with me? Not that misses the whole point. Not what's wrong with me, I just murdered an innocent woman in her home. I miss the point, which we think the point is he's trying to either gain this knowledge of like sympathy towards unknown people's deaths, or confirming he still like has a human side to him.
It's kind of like with Inuyashiki in the first episode where he starts to feel human when he saves people.
Which
he's like, oh, I am still human. Whereas Hiro is the exact opposite, which is why it's leading to him being the antagonist or the villain. It's just, he's like, oh, I feel human when I kill people.
Yeah, that's what I'm leaning towards, because they're kind of like parallels but opposite. It's like one was thankful he saved people, one's testing his like emotions when he kills people. It's this probably the worst way you can try and see if you're a human still. Holy shit.
Yep, exactly. I was like, oh, that scene was super fucked up. And then it goes to the bathroom, and you hear a father and a child in the bathtub, and it's like, oh no, please no.
I thought it was done after the woman. Like, I was seriously thought that's where it's gonna end the episode. It's like, oh, you thought that was bad? Watch this. Like, this is so messed up. This is so messed up.
He goes into the bathroom, and it's a father and child. The father's giving his son a bath, and the father instantly says, "Wait, who are you? Why are you doing in my bathroom?" And he lifts up his finger again. I'm like, oh my god, he's just gonna insta kill him. But this time he says, "This is a real gun." And the guy's like, What are you doing?" And he shoots the wall next to him, leaving
Yeah,
a giant bullet hole in the wall. The tile's just smashed in. And this is, whew,
this part's so messed
it,
up.
it's so hard to talk about because like this was like one of the most gut-wrenching moments I've had in anime.
This is probably one of the most messed up scenes I've seen.
Like I've seen a lot of bad scenes, uh, like a lot of gruesome scenes, of course, but nothing like this,
This one's
where
just
it's
like the
clearly with like a father and child, and this father tries his best to protect his child. He turns around, holds his child in to save him from this killer, and he gets shot in the shoulder.
yeah the
Then there's
the
this,
bathtub's filling up with blood. It's
yeah, and the whole time he was just like, "Hey, say something." I don't. He doesn't know what he wants him to say. He just keeps saying, "Say
yeah,
something."
for real. And at this point, the father clearly knows like
Yeah, he's
he's
like,
this
"You
is
killed my wife, didn't you?" He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "All right, just please spare my child."
yeah. He starts
And Hiro goes, "No, I'm gonna kill the kid too."
he starts begging, like straight up begging, as any parent would in this situation. And just the face and the tone that Hero is like, nope, not gonna happen. I'm killing him. It's
Yeah, the
like,
same tone he's
oh,
had throughout the whole episode. So it's like, there's still no. He's just him. Like
it's so
no
messed up.
remorse, no emotions really, and he kills the
Well,
father.
the
Honestly,
most messed up part I think was right before he killed the father. He paused, and he's like, "I'm feeling it now."
yes, he's starting to feel human again.
So like, you think, oh, that feeling confirms it. No, he wants to make sure. He does his damn best to make sure, and it's in the most messed up way possible.
Yeah, and the worst part is he kills the father, and the father was trying so hard to protect his child that it's actually when he dies, the weight of his body pushes his child underneath the water in the bathtub. And it spends like 15, 20 seconds of just the kid drowning.
It's
And
so
it's like the father tried his best and ended up him leading to him killing his child.
it's so messed up. Like this. Oh my god, dude. Uh, like starting with the mother, that's messed up. Killing the father in front of his kid, that's fucked up. And then just denying the father, like, no, I'm gonna kill your kid anyway. He didn't even kill the like. He let the kid drown by
Yeah, he did.
in bloody bathtub water by his. It's so like when
And then
I'm
he's like, I feel alive after that.
yeah when I was watching it, I was like in shock. I'm like, this is nothing compared to the first like the first episode was kind of like we talked about. It's kind of messed up how those kids wanted to like beat up those old men.
Yeah,
That's messed
it's
up.
leading me into thinking it was going to be like him saving people kind of anime.
Yeah,
Or
like that part was messed up. This episode was like, oh, I bet you won't.
complete 360 or 180, whatever you want to say.
It's so crazy how like they just kicked it into super high gear.
And you're like, oh man, that was awful. And then someone else has to come and come in. The daughter finally gets home. She's like, I'm home. Walks in, sees blood just everywhere. Is the first thing she sees. Is she's like, all right, something's wrong. Walks in, sees her mother, goes into instant shock.
Yeah, she's just terrified. Well, who wouldn't be? Like if
Yeah,
first of all, if I
terrified.
walked in and saw blood everywhere, I'd be like, what the hell? And then you just see your mother on the
See,
ground. It's like,
this is what I'm like. I've seen it on TV. All this stuff. Like if I see blood, I'm instantly pulling out my phone, calling 911.
yeah. In hindsight, you'd be like, okay, you need to get out of there. But like in the moment,
Yeah,
you're probably like,
you never know if the killer's still there. That's why you watch enough TV and you prepare yourself.
yeah, just in case a
The
cyborg
madman comes in
comes
and
in
kills
with
your
his
parents.
finger gun.
Yeah, his finger gun.
No, okay, this scene where she backs up and it shows him in the background is so creepy. It's so goddamn creepy.
Yeah, and he waits for her to turn. He doesn't want to say anything first. And he's like, all right, let's sit down and talk.
Ugh. He just at this point, like, for, in one episode, you go from like, oh, this kid's not too bad. Like, there's nothing too bad with him. And then
Yeah, like in the beginning, we were talking about how he's not superficial. He actually cares about people.
right,
And
and then
then
the next scene you're like, okay, that's kind of weird. And then the next scene you're like, that's really weird. And then you're like, okay, he's kind of messed up. And then you're like, this dude's fucking crazy. Like, holy shit.
he's a true psychotic psychopath. And this girl is just distraught. She's like trying to like call an ambulance, call help. He's like, nah, she's dead. I shot her in the head. No emotion still, just the same tone. Then he's like, he shoots the floor, of course, to get her to pay attention to him.
Yeah, he starts toying with her. Just he's like, hey, what are your hobbies? What manga do you like?
Yeah, what man? She says, thankfully, she said One Piece. I was like, oh, she said One Piece. This is her way out.
That's what I was like.
He
Okay,
loves One Piece.
well,
But
he wasn't like happy. He's like, oh, you like One Piece?
yeah, this is what we were talking. He shows his emotion again in this episode. It's only about One Piece.
Yeah, he's like, who's your favorite character? Oh, all this.
She
It's
said
like
some Zoro dude, and
you can just see how like
Z for Zoro, right?
you can just see how disconnected he is. Like,
Yeah, he's like, nice choice. He doesn't care about he just kill people. He doesn't care about there's dead bodies in the house. He's just like, I want to talk about One Piece always. I love One Piece. This is how I'm gonna connect with other people. Is through similar hobbies. Is basically that's what he's trying to find out. Is if he can connect to random people.
yeah, it's so we and it like
But she's so distraught she can't keep the conversation with him. Which is kind of what you want to do if someone's threatening to kill you.
yeah,
You want to look for a way out. And One Piece, I think, was her chance to get out. But she was just so emotional because she saw her mother dead. And I think he told her, you know, your father, little brother,
yeah,
dead
because
too.
she asked, and he's like, yep, that too.
Yep.
It's
All
like,
of them are
God,
dead.
dude.
And it was just... And he's still like toiling. He's like... He's trying to show sympathy towards her. He's like... Cleans up her tears, kind of rubs her head, like... And then this is where we see something different, where he just cuts her hand open.
Yeah, it's I don't know what he was trying to go for. I think he's just
Trying to
trying
show
to
pain here.
yeah.
And he's still like, you like funky monkey babies? I don't know shit about One Piece, dude. I don't know what the fuck a funky monkey baby is. It's pretty funny though.
And then we go to Inuyashiki, who's
But
just
yeah, we finally go to Inuyashiki for the first time in this episode.
yeah, he's just coming home from work, whatever. His cool new dog greets him. He goes, sits down, turns on his like super hearing, straight up hears the girl
And he's like,
crying
oh,
for help.
I have to save her. Because that's what he wants to do. He feels alive when he saves people. And he starts going. Oh, and then we go. But before he leaves, we go back to Hero and the girl. And he's like, stop crying or I will kill you.
Yeah, he's just
But she couldn't stop. And he's like, all right, this isn't fun anymore.
you just
And we go back to Inuyashiki in the car, trying to get there. Which, in hindsight, probably would have been faster for him to use his, like... he still doesn't understand his suit at this point. Like,
right.
I think fully, he knows how to use bits and pieces of it here. He's obviously showing some functionality. He's looking around, scanning with his robot eyes. But otherwise, I think it would have been better for him to run.
Yeah, it's just so messed up how he's sitting there and he's just hearing her beg
He's
for her
hearing her
life.
crying for her life. He's stuck in traffic,
Yeah,
and he hears bang.
yeah, that's the
And then
last thing
nothing.
he hears. We already know what happened. Like,
Yeah.
he obviously killed her, but like it's
And
just
It gets-
so messed up.
it gets so sad. He gets there finally, and he's just sitting over the girl crying like, I couldn't help. I wanted to help so badly, but I couldn't.
Yeah,
And he walks in, he sees basically
he
all of them
yeah
dead.
he just looks and sees all their dead bodies and
He's
just
like, who would do this?
he's so distraught because you could tell he wants to help people. Like, it's such a difference between him and Hero. Like, it's
Yeah.
clearly like this good versus evil. They even come head to head. Where
In the first interaction with Hero, was like he's like, oh, there's a grandpa here too. Is there a grandma? Like
it's like he's
he wants to keep killing if he can.
yeah, it's like he's joyful to know that there's more people he can kill and just mess with. It's so crazy. He
And he
doesn't
doesn't
even
spend any time with Inuyashiki. He just instantly bangs him.
yeah, he just shoots him. No hesitation. I don't know if he was just bored and just wanted to get out of the way, but like no hesitation.
Yeah, I think he was because he's like right after he does it, he's like, "All right, this is enough." Like,
Yeah. And this final scene was actually it kind of sent chills like Hiro's walking away and it kind of like pans. You see the house in the background and Inuyashiki just slowly walks out and like turns towards him. And even Hiro's like, "What the hell are you?" And like
yeah, he turns around. They're both just staring each other down. Like Inuyashiki at first, he's kind of like he had fear in his eyes. Like this kid did all this. Like
yeah. But
and
when
it was more like confusion and stuff. He gets shot, and then he's like, "All right." He comes out when he comes out of the house and looks at him. It looks like he now has like commitment in his eyes to
yeah,
like
it
to
kind of
take
looks
him
like
down.
the weapon mode took over and it's like about to like go on the I guess defensive cuz he's just he has like no emotion in his face or like all you can see is just like this stare down of like complete
Yes,
seriousness.
he's like, "All right, I know what I have to do," kind of thing. He's like, he obviously realizes this kid ain't normal.
Yeah.
They don't really have recollection of meeting each other in the park because it was just a split second and then they got smashed and rebuilt. Um, so obviously they're gonna remember. I think eventually in the next episode we get the ending song here, which I truly do love this ending song a lot. And they do something I love a lot, and that's there's no next time on.
I'd even look for next time on cuz
I don't. I always skip to the end of the cutscene or ending song in case they do like an additional scene at the end,
yeah.
which is my biggest pet peeve in anime. But that's a different topic. uh,
So
but
that's the episode.
that's the episode. Any predictions for episode 3?
I don't know if there's just
No,
gonna be a,
I can't. Not after this episode. Look
yeah.
at this.
This episode blindsided
First
me.
episode is like, all right, he's gonna save people. It's what kind of anime it is gonna be like. Oh no, now we're getting this other character's point of view, and he's just a fucking serial killer. Okay.
Yeah, like I don't know if they're gonna fight. If the hero's just gonna lead. I don't know, dude. I didn't see this coming, so I doubt I see what else is coming.
Yeah, exactly. They're obviously gonna be. There's gonna be a lot more conflict between the two of them throughout the series.
Yeah, definitely.
No way it's gonna finish in one episode at episode 3 and just leave no conflict open because Inuyashiki's a super robot and can just go do everything else.
Right.
But woo! I guess we'll go ahead and give our scores now.
Yeah. Do you want to start or?
I can start. I'm giving it a 9. I think it's my highest score so far this season out of all our reviews.
I think it is. I think you gave Hero Academy finale a 9.
I might have. You're
It's
right.
a pretty
that
high
was
score.
previous season. That's not fall
Oh,
season.
that's true. That is true.
But man, there was so much tension in this episode. So it did a really great job of building that tension. Did a great job of like just throwing twist at you. The character building of Hero and just how he completely just escalated over and over. Really, this whole episode was a build up, and I think they did a perfect job of building it up and actually having it reach that impact at the end, and not, there was never a dull moment.
Right. That's funny enough because I was actually gonna give it a 9, which I think our last few have been the same score, but
Except for Black Clover episode 3, Black Clover's dead. Continue.
this episode was just when I was first watching it, I thought it was going to be a kind of slow episode just to introduce because I knew this was the guy from the Aliens. I was like, okay, maybe it's going to introduce him. Maybe he's going to like struggle with his new powers or whatever you want to call it, and like he's going to meet Inuyashiki and they're and they're going to like I don't solve stuff together. No, it just took a completely unexpected route. You can definitely see the transition in Hero, just like him as a character. You can already tell how he is, like completely. Like one episode is all it took for them to just show this character, and like you already know what he's capable of. You already know how he acts. It was just so
Yes.
suspenseful the entire
Yes.
episode.
And actually, another thing that kind of puts a fear for me for Inuyashiki's daughter. Like, yeah, I don't like her a whole lot, but now that he's met Inuyashiki, I feel like there's gonna be some point where he sees Inuyashiki with his daughter,
Yeah,
and he's gonna see a way to get back at Inuyashiki,
right.
and he's gonna realize that's his family.
So crazy, dude. So
Or he kills
crazy.
Inuyashiki's dog later in the series.
That set him off.
That's my prediction, not for next episode, but sometimes in this series. But, woo, crazy episode. That does it for this review. Again, sure to like, comment, subscribe, share the video. The support lately has been incredible.
It has. It's been
It's been
awesome.
way past our expectations, like
Yeah.
way beyond. And again, comments, just don't deny or confirm our theories,
Just keep it.
especially if you know. If you don't know, leave your own theories, leave your own expectations, what you thought about the episode, what you liked, didn't like, what you give it as a score, anything like that.
Yeah, that's gonna do it.
That does it? All right. Oh, yeah. A couple more shout-outs real quick. We have a gaming channel where we play games. That's why it's a gaming channel. That's, wow. End screen, I'll probably be up here on the screen at some point. And then we have a Discord in the description below where you can come and join us for discussions or talk with us, anything like that. Discuss with other Couch Talk viewers, anything like that. So,
You're a YouTube professional.
yes, thanks, man. That finally does it for this episode. So until next time, peace out.
See ya.